making sure we are started. Alright, sorry, I just had to adjust my mic there because it was a little bit over the left side. Well, right side. That's what I meant to say. But hopefully you are all doing alright and staying safe. There we go. Sorry, my nose was a little bit, blocky there. So, hopefully you are all doing alright and staying safe. My throat's still not, 100%, still got part of the sickness, I tell you, that really sucks, I tell you. Ow. I forgot that we were up there last episode. Alright, hello, welcome back to some more Minecraft Episode Golden Age, episode 1092. Last episode, we were hard at work, I tell you, we were hard at work. I'm actually planning out to do something for these planes here that we have. We've had these planes for a long time. I think some of the animals here are probably as old as the series, if I'm being honest. A lot of them, there used to be a lot of horses out here, but I actually killed off a lot of the horses. And the reason why I killed off a lot of the horses was that I needed leather. And leather was tremendously in short supply. Like, I needed it for so many different projects. I had to focus on one project before I could move on to the next one. And it was really annoying that. But, nonetheless, I still quite enjoy, the plain spam, even about all the horses out here. I do miss the horses. Maybe I should, get a bunch of, ranches started and have, horses and, rings and all that just scattered around. Feel like that'd be quite nice. I need to do, a bunch of, wheat fields out here. I really want to transform this entire area into more, farmland than, regular terrain. It also should stop mobs from spawning, because I don't think mobs spawn on farmland. But let me know. Do they actually spawn on farmland? I'm not 100% sure. But we have a very important task today. If you did not know, last episode I talked about starting to break down the old bridge here. And it's finally that time once again. I should really gather up some more terracotta for when we do the third house. I won't work on the third house this episode, depending on how long it takes to break down. Probably take a little while. You know what, I will probably break it down with my silk touch. Just being honest, there's a lot of stone in this build project. And there's not really that many spots that I can get all the way up to the build. So I'll probably focus on just trimming down this side first, because that side has a little ladder to get up here. So I'll focus on getting that down, and we'll just start to break down this entire bridge that took us forever to build. This is actually the third rendition? I'm not 100% sure. Is it the third rendition? The third version? I was really hoping to grab it. I can just head down there in a second and go and grab them. I do really like that the bridge was very, lit up. It really was quite nice. There we go. Alright. It's very actually empty, the bridge, if I'm being honest. I should really be gathering up vines, shouldn't I? It's alright, I have vine farm back at home. We'll just use that. But the reason why I need vines is... what build project was it? I plan to do a build project that required vines. I'm not 100% sure on it yet. Oh, I also needed vines for the docks, as I was going to put in mossy stone bricks. I totally forgotten about that. I should really do that soon. There we go. Basically, I'm trying to break it down as far as possible to now. And then, it can easily be cleaned up as fast as possible. There we go. I thought I was absolutely, stuck there. There is really no way to get really back to the side if I fall. There is wood. Oh, I thought there was wood there. No, it was that colour of that there, and it made me think there was wood there. Alright, let me break that back. And we'll continue to break away a lot of this bit right here. Grab that. Alrighty. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Let's see. What could we talk about? I'm thinking about making some more art streams soon. I've been, thinking like, what would be a good software to use for art streams. I've been using MediaBang. And MediaBang's, basically, all that I really need. Apart from MS Paint. MS Paint I use for the, writing. So I can write stuff. Because my, MediaBang, you have to be signed in to write, I'm pretty sure. Or you have to be premium now? I can't remember, it's been a little while. But one of those, stupid things. Like, at least it's not as bad as Fire Alpaca. Fire Alpaca, you require premium to use the dark mode. And it is a super bright app. So obviously, their plan was just to hurt your eyes until you give up and, buy the, best option for your eyes. It really is annoying, that. There we go. Not too bad at all. This bridge is actually, not that bad condition when it's this small again. Like, it looks quite nice. But it has to go completely. Because we will be rebuilding a new bridge in this area. That will also involve the docks. So I'm actually thinking about bringing the docks all the way around. And then building the bridge over with the dock in mind. So the dock will, be kind of like the, template for allowing us to do the bridge. And it will be a much more smaller bridge than long ago. There we go. And we'll go and pick up some of the stuff in a second. It feels like yesterday I started building this bridge and then, remodeled it, was next day. I guess I would be today. Sorry, I'm just getting nostalgic. There's just builds like, in Minecraft that you build and then when it gets to that point that, you think, I'm gonna have to take that down. There's just something, it's not sad, it's just nostalgia, sadness. What would you describe it as? It's not like a bad sad, you're just nostalgic sad. I guess that would be the best, way of saying it. Let's see, grab that. Also, I'm not gonna speak too loud, I tell you, because my throat is not 100%. At the back, I keep accidentally stretching it when speaking, and it just, it tears the already healing part over and over and over again. Basically, I'm gonna have like super, jaws by the end of it. I'm gonna be immune to, the back of my throat being, hurt. Laughing is not too bad, I would say. Yeah, I would, unless I'm doing like, a big laugh or a yawn. Yawning is like the worst, I tell you now. If any of you have yawned with like a sore throat before, you understand how sore, it can be sometimes. The thing is, it's just a bug, it's just a cold. And it feels like, worse than any other thing I've had. Well, I say that, but, and then I realize, there is a few, that have been quite bad, being honest. If I'm being honest, there was that one, thing from, a few years ago, you know what I'm speaking of. There we go. There was that. There we go, break that. That was quite terrible, to be honest. Let me break all of this down. Doesn't feel like that much, really to mine through, if I'm being honest. There might be some floating blocks just by, you know, how stupid everything has been since... I think it might be fixed, I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't fix permanently, but there is an issue of efficiency being too fast, that it registers that you broke a block, but you didn't actually break that block. It's a really annoying bug. It's like, you know, you go too fast for the game, and it's really just, you know, really just an annoying thing. In the newer updates, you don't have to worry about it as much, I would say. It's not as bad. But in the older update, it is just horrible. I really do like this. I don't know why, but this is probably my favourite dockyards I've built so far. Like, we've built a lot of dockyards over multiple different series and SMPs. This is probably my favourite. Like, I quite enjoyed the one that I was building on Moonacre. I think it was Moonacre 2. That one was pretty good, I would say. Let's see. Actually, I do plan on doing some event work on Moonacre soon. So I'll be working on some events there. I don't know if the server is up to now. We had some problems with some of the mods, and it's taken a little while to fix, you know, the issue. So that kinda sucks. There we go. But apart from that, you know, I should be able to run it. I'm not sure. I'll have to check, I tell you. I'll have to check. There we go. Let me grab that. Yep, there we go. It looks like, you know, when I first built it, I tell you now. Doesn't feel that long ago. Does not feel like that long ago. And also, a lot of this birch wood that you see here, I might actually use it for other builds. Because I just do not have a sufficient birch farm, if I'm being honest. I really need a birch farm. I have a dirt farm back home, but I just do not have any, like, you know, proper good wood farms. That I should really, like, focus in and finish off that certain ginormous one that I'm building underground. Can't believe how old that build is actually now. You can see how I was shaping the terrain here. It will be shaped probably back and then shaped into the new bridge. So that'll be something that we'll do soon. Let's see. Put that in there. There we go. Just start grabbing all of this. Actually, not too many blocks, to be honest. Not too many blocks were put into this bridge. It seems like a lot, but I never actually filled up the bridge completely. I think that's like a big plus. Plus, another reason is I just did not have the resources to fully build the bridge completely. I normally like to fill up my builds in the inside, just because it looks nicer. You know, it's like, you know, the hollow base, you know, problem in Minecraft. You could go to, like, you know, Hermitcraft, break inside someone's base, you know, and bam, there's a hole that just leads to just a void of area. Or, you know, you could go on to, like, you know, one of your favourite Minecraft YouTubers from back in the day, and you'll find, like, there's gaps everywhere in builds. I just like to really fill up those gaps. Or fill them up with lights. I do want to fill them up completely, that's why I developed the honeycomb technique. And I found out that honeycomb technique... I'm joking. I started to swap letter in there, and then I choked, and then my eyes watered. Take a hydrate break, everyone. It's good for you. Like, water's not that bad, to be honest, I tell you. If any of you struggle with drinking water, I will give you a recipe. I don't know if I can say the full recipe now, but if you're into baking stuff or cooking stuff, you can cook up yourself a syrup that you can pour into water. So you can make like a similar thing to cola or other things. That is a dark spot that should have been lit up ages ago. Why has that not been lit up? I don't know. It must have been from a long time ago, I never realised. But you get a pot of water, you put your sugar in it, and you can put like cinnamon in it if you wanted to make a cinnamon taste. But you put your herbs and seasoning and all that in it. Whatever you want the taste of. So, say you want a honeydew melon. That's a yellow melon, if you don't know. Say you get one of those, you blend it up, or you know, you even put in just slices. You can just boil that or simmer it for a little while. And with that simmering, the taste will go out into the water. And then you just stir it until it's, you know, starting to clump up a little bit. And now that it's starting to clump up a bit, you can pour it into a jar once it's cool. And you can use that for pouring into water and such. Some people like to do star anise seasoning and, let's see, star anise. I'm trying to figure out like the, you know, recipes again. I actually do have the recipe in front of me, if I'm being honest. Give me a second. Not able to see chat a second. Alright. I'll give you one of them. I think I can give you the cherry recipe if you're interested in it. I call it meepo, this drink. Let's see, M-E-P-O. It's just a soft drink. You can either use sparkling water or you can just use regular water for it. But it's 2 cups of water in a pot. This is just for like what do you call it? A cola tasting like one. If I'm being honest, kinda tastes like cola. But 2 cups of water in a pot, 1 spoonful of sugar, or 2 spoons, depending on how sugary you want it to be. A spoon of mango puree, or you know, you could put lime and lemon in it. Let's see, that's puree, that's what I'm talking about. Or juice. No wait. It's zest. Yeah, it was zest. Forgot all about that. Or clover grounded. You can put that in there. Flaxseed. Whisk and then boil. And then strain the liquid. Add lemon and lime juice. Add, you can make a sauce, like a, what do you call it, like a colouring sauce. Put that in there. Vanilla extract, a teaspoon of that. And then you wait, you know, until it's cool. Then you refrigerate for 12 hours. And then you can fill up any cup of, you know, water, sparkling water. Add ice, and then you know, you can make a nice drink out of it. But that's not the one that I want to show you. I could show you, this is Meepo Nama, aka Nova Blast. It's 2 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of cherries, whisk and boil for 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes, and then strain and add lime juice, then store after for 12 hours, and then you can, once cooled, put it into the jar. I might have said that in the wrong order there a little bit at the end, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. But that's how you make your own drink. I tell you, it would not be one of my episodes if we did not get off track. But that's how you make your own, what do you call it, like basically soda if you want in a soda. It's sparkling water if you want a soda. If you just want, you know, something that's not like, you know, dilutant juice. Something that adds taste to something. And it can also be, you know, a lot of these, you know, recipes are, you know, great for people that do not like eat, you know, certain stuff. Let's see, you know, what do you call it? you're vegetarian or vegan, you know, it can still work for people like that. I think that's why the recipe is, you know, quite good. It's, you know, really an all-rounder. Mostly everyone can have it. There we go. Eventually gotta lay up the bottom of the bank here. Just because of how dark it seems, I tell you. Alright, let me just start breaking that down. Still can't believe how easy this build is just to tear away. But if you're going for like a specific taste for that drink, then I would just recommend putting in like a fruit that you like. Then you can make it, you know, taste like that fruit. It's basically how they had like, you know, cherry soda and all that back in the day. Really making your own soft drink or, you know, fizzy juice is, you know, really simple, to be honest. It's basically syrup that they pour into. Like, you know, you go to a drive-thru, you're probably getting syrup. There's definitely like large amount of syrup, and they're just put into the machine, so you know you get syrup juice. There we go, and it's carbonated water. There we go. Most places do that. Certain places I know do not actually have, you know, fizzy juice for some reason. Certain ones I know have just, you know, coffee, and that's kind of like, you know, not everyone drinks coffee, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't drink coffee. The thing is, I'm actually quite against caffeine. Like, if I could, I would not have it in any of my drinks, and I just broke the saying from 2022. Well, the bridge is gone. That's what I'm going to say. I think it was 2022. Yeah, it does not really matter. I built it around the same time as I built this, so yeah, definitely 2022. There we go. And also, you heard that there was a dark area noise there. It's probably that cave, or it's the bridge. Whenever there's a dark area in your world, Minecraft will play a noise nearby you to alert you that there is a dark cave nearby. It's very great for when you're making like mob farms, if I'm being honest, because, you know, like, I must have gotten all the caves, you know, lit up. No. And it plays a noise, you know, letting you know that there's still one more. There's always one more cave. Even the tiniest cave is a very annoyance. Let me just break all of this now. It's really surprising how, you know, fast we took down this bridge. Like, what time are we at? Dang, we're only at 22 minutes. We still got another 10 minutes left of the episode. Well, around 10 minutes. You know, I did accidentally, last episode make it an hour. I was going to laugh there and I almost choked myself again. There's a zombie head. Wonder how long ago I placed that zombie head. Can't remember. It was a long time ago. I know that for a fact. Let me break that down. And probably just place a torch there. And time to get out the last of the blocks. And then we'll go pick up everything. It's just very surprising, like, you know, how different the area looks without this bridge. You don't realize how long Sing has been in the area until you break it down. As I always say, if you have a long running world, it's okay to keep nostalgia, but it's bad to keep nostalgia if it becomes toxic. Like, if you cannot expand from that, you know, nostalgia, then it's becoming toxic. Like, you have that little tiny house that you do not want to touch, you don't like, you know, the old details of, then that's becoming toxic, you know. You want to expand onto old stuff. Even if, you know, you don't want to, there's always, like, you know, something you can do with an old build. There we go. Like, the smallest little details can always just be added to make it, you know, nicer. Like, you know, this village, you know, I established this about, like, 4 years ago now. 4 years ago, dang. Making me feel old, I tell you. But 4 years ago we started building this village, or 3 years ago, 4, somewhere around there. We started building this village. Well, that was 2022, so yeah, it would be 3 years since I started building this. And, you know, I'm still building it, you know, I'm still building it. Even though how old it is, I'm still, you know, at it, I'm still working on it. Like, I did have nostalgic bits for it, like, you know, that crane, I kept that for ages. But it's okay to, you know, eventually take down something. Also, I realized I never did the pathing for this build here. Starts raining now? Oh, you gotta be joking me. There we go. And now it's all connected up. I really like the path and then the older update. For some reason it's kind of grown on me. I like the old, like, pale, kind of end stone kind of style to it. Because there's just something to it that seems nice, if I'm being honest. It is very strange. I don't know how to describe it. It's nice, but also... I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it, but, you know, it's grown on me. That's what I'm gonna say. It's grown on me. Oh, there's still actually a little tiny bit of the bridge left here. And I'll take this little bit right here. Wow. Did not feel like that, you know, long. I should really take down that bit, but I shall leave that for now, as that's just dirt. And I do not really need to work on that now. What we do need to work on is actually expanding this a little bit here. So let me put that there, and I'll grab some more spruce wood, and we'll see about extending the bridge, or the dock, that's to be exact, the dock, over by a little bit. Alright, let me put that there. This is actually a very handy backpack to have. I've also got to keep it more to the, you know, ground level. I do feel like it would be nicer if I kept it up high. I should be able to grab, you know... Yeah, I should really reinforce the bottom of this, you know. No, I don't really need to. I don't really need to. Alright. So that would be... there. That would be where I extend it to. Not sideways. There. There. Or I place it there. Break that. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad actually. That does not seem too bad actually. It's not fully centered to the, you know, other side. Maybe I should change it a little bit. It's obvious that this bit's got to play a major part in this bridge. So, could I probably do something like this, possibly? We could make it a quite large bridge here. It won't be as large as the previous bridge, but it shall just go over the water. And then I might do another dock kind of style just around this little plateau here. I'm actually going to extend my leg out a little bit there. So sorry if you hear me, you know, squishing some plastic. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't actually seem too bad. It's just trying to get it, you know, to seem more fit into this area. I could go like that. Kind of like what we did with the docks over there. That could work. It does mean that I might have to trim this mountain down just a slight little tad. But it does feel like it would be the right option if I'm being honest. It kind of curves in there. Would that be the right option? I could make it smaller, the bridge. So 3 blocks. Or 4 blocks. I feel like 4 blocks could keep it nice. So I think I might actually swap it to 4 blocks. That's what I'll do. There we go. That means I can kind of keep it, you know, looking a little bit nice when it's coming into this area. Place that there. Don't want to upset the lighting balance that we have going on here. Let's see. Put the bush in there. Seeds. I have a seed backpack. Forgot all about the seed backpack. That's the seed backpack. There we go. And I'll put the seed backpack up here. I'll just shove these next to it. That is the wood backpack. I actually still need that, and that's just the extra. That I can actually shove in the backpack. Yeah, that's actually not looking too bad. Also, what time are we at? Oh, we're at 32 minutes already. But that should be where we end off for today, and then we'll continue next episode. So, hopefully you enjoyed us. Have a nice day, stay safe, observable, make sure to the vitamins, very important, and really see things above the CCs.